Have you ever imagined a day when everything on Earth simply stops working? No phones, no internet, no electricity, just silence. Scientists believe that in 2025, a massive solar storm could hit our planet, one powerful enough to push Earth into darkness for years. But what exactly is this storm? And how can something happening 150 million kilometers away destroy our modern world? Let's find out. The beginning, our mysterious sun. Our story starts with the sun, a giant ball of plasma that formed about 4.5 billion years ago. It holds 99.9% of the entire solar system's mass. Every second, deep inside it, hydrogen atoms fuse into helium, releasing enormous amounts of heat and light, the energy that gives life to our planet. But the sun isn't as peaceful as it looks. Its surface is not solid. It's a boiling sea of plasma, constantly twisting, spinning, and erupting. And within that chaos lies an invisible force, the magnetic field. Every 11 years, the sun flips its magnetic poles. North becomes south, and south becomes north. This flipping creates immense tension, and it's like stretching a rubber band beyond its limit. When that magnetic tension snaps, the sun releases a burst of charged particles into space. We call this a solar storm. The calm before the storm. Right now, in 2025, the sun is entering what scientists call the solar maximum, the peak of its activity. During this phase, sunspots appear on its surface, giant dark regions where temperatures drop and magnetic fields twist violently. If you look closely, you'd see huge loops of fire, solar prominences arching across the sun. Sometimes these loops stretch too far, break, and release billions of tons of plasma into space. That explosion is known as a coronal mass ejection, or CME. A CME can travel across the solar system at incredible speeds, sometimes reaching Earth in just 17 hours. And when it hits, the results are devastating. The day the sky turned green. To understand how dangerous this is, let's go back in time to the year 1859. Astronomer Richard Carrington was observing the sun when he noticed something strange, a bright flash followed by massive sunspots. Within hours, telegraph systems across the world failed. Pylons caught fire, wires melted. Even without power, telegraph machines continued to send sparks, as if an invisible hand had electrified the air itself. That day, the night sky lit up in strange colors. People in India, Cuba, and even Hawaii could see the northern lights, something usually visible only near the poles. This event is now known as the Carrington event, the strongest solar storm ever recorded in human history. If such a storm hit today, the impact would be unimaginable. Imagine the year 2025. Let's say the sun releases another Carrington-sized storm next year. What would happen? First, satellites would be the first victims. Thousands of them orbiting Earth would be fried by radiation. GPS, internet, communication systems, gone within minutes. Next, the charged particles would reach Earth's magnetic field, compressing it like a bubble being crushed. Massive electrical surges would travel through power lines and transformers, burning them out instantly. Cities would go dark. Hospitals would lose power. Airports, defense systems, and nuclear reactors all would be paralyzed. Within hours, every modern device would stop functioning. Phones, computers, ATMs, vehicles, everything that depends on electricity would fail. And this blackout wouldn't last for minutes or days. It could continue for years. Life without light. Scientists estimate that recovering from a global-scale solar storm could take 10 years or more. Imagine a decade without power grids, without internet, without data storage. Banks would lose records. Hospitals couldn't operate. Food supply chains would collapse. The world's population could shrink dramatically due to hunger and chaos. And the scariest part? We might only get 17 hours warning before the storm hits. We've already seen the signs. In 2022, more than 20 Starlink satellites launched by Elon Musk were destroyed by a solar flare. That was just a small preview of what the sun is capable of. Solar activity has been increasing since 2019, and experts say that 2025 could mark the peak of the solar cycle, meaning more sunspots, more magnetic chaos, and more chances for a superstorm. The sun doesn't follow our rules. It decides when to strike, and when it does, there's nothing we can do to stop it. Could it really happen? You might be wondering, is all this just science fiction? No, solar storms happen all the time, but most are small, and Earth's magnetic field protects us from the worst of them. However, once every few centuries, the sun releases something far more powerful, a once-in-a-lifetime event. And according to many researchers, we are already overdue for one. If it happens in 2025, the consequences could be catastrophic, not because of fire or explosions, but because of our dependence on electricity. The countdown to darkness. Think about it. From the moment you wake up, the lights, your phone, your computer, the internet, the fridge, everything depends on power. Now imagine that power disappearing instantly. Airplanes falling from the sky, trains stopping mid-journey, people trapped in elevators, hospitals losing life support. It sounds like a movie, but it's a scenario that scientists at NASA and NOAA take very seriously. That's why, in many countries, governments have plans to temporarily shut down power grids if they detect a major CME approaching Earth to prevent transformers from burning out. But even then, the damage could be immense. Hope beyond the storm. Even though the threat is real, it's not all hopeless. Scientists are constantly studying the sun, trying to predict its behavior. Satellites like the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, SOHO, and the Parker Solar Probe are keeping a close watch on solar activity. Their goal is simple: give humanity those crucial few hours of warning before the storm hits. If we can detect it early enough, we can shut down grids, protect satellites, and possibly avoid total destruction. But if the sun decides to strike without warning, we might experience the longest blackout in human history. The final thought. The sun gives us life, warmth, light, and energy. But the same sun can also take it all away. In 2025, we may witness the most powerful solar storm in centuries. Maybe it won't hit us directly, or maybe it will. Either way, this is not a story about fear. It's a reminder of how fragile our modern world truly is, and how, in the grand design of the universe, we're still at the mercy of a star that burns 150 million kilometers away. So next time you see a sunrise, just remember, that beautiful light in the sky has the power to end everything we've built.